RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpion, New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do? LB, Lauderdale Boss, aka Shuttleworth, the GOAT artist. You know what he do? GOAT Artist Week, Soul Wars created. Yeah. RingGangRadio.com in the building.
Yes, sir. Ring Gang in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What's good, y'all? You already know who this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Boxing in the building. Ring Gang Radio all day. Let's get it.
Hey, Bodega P, straight from the sewer, but he's above ground because he's taking a little break from the fighting crime and whatnot.
Yeah, vacation. Parts unknown, motherfucker. Foot Clan won't find me.
Word up, and as always, we salute you for your service. So you deserve that break. So we got some stuff we want to talk about today. Start off with some non-boxing stuff. Now, obviously, if you listen to our podcast before, we, on occasion we delve into other things like music or movies or cartoons, such of that nature. We haven't done one of those in a while. And so, like a new cartoon, a couple weeks ago caught our eye on Netflix, Blood of Zeus. An American anime. So I was just like, when I saw a trailer, I was like, oh shit, this might actually be live. I had to get down. And I think LB, I told you about it or you told me about it? I forget.
You told me.
Okay, yeah.
You had you told me Dad and Barbarians where.
Yeah, right.
You 1 and 1. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, you right about Barbarians though. In the end, though, I mean, it could have been so much more, but I think they didn't use their budget wisely on that. Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll speak on Barbarians once we wrap up this one.
Right, though. But Blood and Zeus, though, that was a given. Just because as a kid, I used to like to read that Greek mythology, Roman mythology, Egyptian mythology. And then seeing it in some form, whether in a cartoon or a live action, I always used to fuck with it. Sometimes it would be sometimes it would be a hit, like them Spartacus. Spartacus was mythology. And obviously I'm talking about the live action Spartacus, not like the old school Spartacus, like the one that was on Stars. You know what I'm saying? That's the classic shit right there for us. And then sometimes you get the duds, like when you try to remake Clash of the Titans or some shit like that, and you're just like, ugh,
trash.
Yeah, exactly. But cartoons, though, the cartoon ones are rare. So
I thought Clash of the Titans was okay, actually. But okay, damn.
Yeah, only because I like the original one so much because they used to air that shit. I thought that one was better. The other one, I
thought they completely missed the boat. So
I felt like they went too much from the original story.
That's what.
All they needed to do is just do the original story and just update the graphics and shit, and what I mean, because. And they didn't. They kind of Hollywooded it up. So
yeah, they did, because instead of keeping to the story, and that's why I just rolled my eyes at it. I was like, this is mid, and probably not even mid. It's probably less than that. So I mean,
I enjoyed it. But there's not something I went back to watch. There's no classics. The original Clash of Titans, I done seen that 2-3 times. That's legit.
Yeah, that's super legit. Yeah. So it's like, when Blood Zeus, I was like, it's been a while since we actually had some shit about Greek mythology on there. And, Netflix, it's like, please let it be raw. And surprise, surprise, it was raw. It was raw as fuck. They didn't waste no time. And it reminded me too of an anime that Netflix released, Castlevania, which is on my list. I never got a chance to watch. It's still on my list.
Now Castlevania is fucking
somebody else said when I was about to watch this Blood of Zeus, it gives Castlevania vibes. I'm like, okay, that's a good thing.
No, dude, it's like I can't believe y'all ain't even up on Castlevania, because
No, I know Castlevania.
I'm talking about like watching the show, like.
No, I mean I was up on it. I just never got to it. But Blood and Zeus got my attention quicker.
But I'm saying you're not up on it if you ain't watched this shit. That's what I'm saying. Y'all niggas saying y'all up on it. Y'all might know of the show, but y'all haven't seen it.
Well, damn, nigga. Like, you know, at least I mentioned it.
cause this the thing is like the Blood of Zeus shit is like alright. Like it's because of Castlevania that the Blood of Zeus is just alright. But Pat losing his mind thinking it's like the best shit ever, like, you know what I mean? So
I do. I love Blood of Zeus, man. That shit was like, I mean, first of all,
really, like you thought it was dope like that, like
yeah, no, I thought the story was cool, like the violence was cool, like you know the protagonist, you know, or excuse me, the antagonist against that, you know, I was like, that wasn't in the stories, but I mean, I guess but it wasn't my story to tell, you know. But at least, but you know, he was raw though. You know his origin. They went to his origin. They explained it, all that shit. So I mean, I was fucking with it, you know. So I had
man, that shit felt like a soap opera cartoon, my nigga.
Yeah.
Bruh, like yo, honestly, that shit ain't turned up until like the 5th episode, like
4th or 5th episode. Yeah, I agree.
It's like I see what they did. They hooked you with the violence in the first episode,
right.
And once you got used to it and you saw like all the animation and everything, you're like, okay, this look promising. Okay, I fucks with this. The second episode came and it's more or less the same, and you're just like, okay, and then it just falls into a pattern, and it's like. You're waiting for it to pick up.
Exactly. I'm just like, wait, all this when something is violence for the sake of violence, I'm like, okay, where is this going? I just roll my eyes because I'm like, they're just trying to throw me in with the violence, but okay, where are you gonna go from here?
And I hate that, and I hate to be that guy because I know I'm the one who's always on some like, man, fuck all that, nigga. Like, where's the action? Like, the pacing ain't moving fast enough. Like, hold on. Like, you know, I'm the one who always, you know, lean more to that, but the way they did this shit on Blood of Zeus, like it took too long to kind of get where it was going. It's like it's almost like there's two parts. It's like the first half and the second half. The second half is dope as fuck, like, and it's really the all out, you know, war battle shit
like that.
You want to see. But the first half is like, okay, can this get going? Like,
yeah, they had a story to tell, but. For me,
it took too fucking long for that story. That soap opera ass shit.
I mean, for me, because like I said, because animation was still clean and it was still quick, or whatever. So like, I didn't mind it. So I didn't mind it. But I was just, to me, I was just like, you know, how the hell did Seraphim, like, what was his origin? Like, how did he just come to be? Like, what was his motive and shit like that? And they got to it eventually. So that's what I mean. But it didn't feel like one of those things where I was just like, you know, this is mad tedious to me. You know, it was just
nah. See, that's the thing. Like, that's how they get you. Like, they balanced it out with enough violence to where you didn't feel tedious. But if you're not blown away by that, you kind of look at it and you're like, okay, like, come on. Like, so that's the whole vibe I got. Like, was I entertained? Yes. Did I enjoy it? Yeah. But I'm not gonna say, you know, it wasn't like a home run or anything, but it was good. You know, it was solid. That's how I looked at it.
It was a solid double, not a home run, but a double.
Yeah. you know, like shit. Like, I gotta reserve like home runs for shit like Castlevania, which is like amazing, like compared to this, like especially the recent, like the last season.
Well, in that case, I need to make time to actually watch that. You know, like I said, because I watched, you know, this first obviously before Castlevania, because like I said, because of the whole Greek mythology shit, because that's what I'm in. That's what I like to watch.
I love Greek mythology. Like, I just wish we would get more like better like tellings of the stories. Like this was too, you know. Now I know, like, if you're familiar with Greek dramas and tragedies and shit, could get a little dramatic, you know, melodramatic and a little soapy, but
that's the effect too. I mean, that's what it is. Like, I mean, it's never,
you know, that's with reading it, but it shouldn't visualize to look like that. Like, you know, the execution has to be better. Like,
Yeah, like I mean, because in this case, like there were also many issues. Like obviously Heron, who's the hero, he had daddy issues. And the mom thing.
and then Zeus is just like he gotta fuck everything on two legs.
Yeah,
and being toxic,
Then Poseidon just side eye and look like he hating on the nigga the whole series. He just like looking at this nigga like, man.
Ares and Apollo, they're all in the mix.
It's supposed to be bros over hoes, and it's like this nigga Poseidon's like, like nigga, like I'm the ocean nigga, and you swimming in on the pussy, dog. Like get the fuck out of here, like.
And then of course, like once they did like the reveal of Seraphim's origin, and then of course you have another scenario. When you have two other scenarios where I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, it's soapy. Like we're like, for an example, like if you've seen Spartacus, like we use that as an example, it had all the complexities and intrigue and dialogues and plots and spin-off side characters, but it told an initial, like it still propelled a whole story forward.
But wait a minute though, that first season of Spartacus, like I remember too.
LB always goes back to the LB always goes back to the Spartacus well.
because honestly, it's one of the shows that it does a lot of things right, and it's for one of those people who like, well, damn man, this got too much violence, or it got too much this. It's like they knew they said, look, we're gonna give you violence, but we're gonna give you great dialogue, good characters, compellingness, like the execution on everything was a lot better. Like I feel like Blood of Zeus needed better execution. Like it's like a cartoon soap opera. Like,
and the funny thing too is like they did that shit in 8 episodes. I would have thought they would have at least gone to the point a little quicker. It wasn't like it was a long season. It wasn't like 6, 12.
Like honestly, it could have been cut down by 2 episodes.
Probably, although I'm not mad at it. But then of course, they did. I mean, like I said, the final battles. I mean, everything was excellent. And then of course, like the end too is like it's like, damn it! Now I want season 2 now. Because it's just like
they can take their time with season 2. Make sure they get it right.
Yeah, I like it, but I'm not gonna rush it. No, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not in a rush. Like, will I watch it? Hell yeah, but I'm not like rush because I feel like.
I will say this though, I want more Poseidon, more I want Ares, more of the person at the end. I want more of them in the second season. I want them to have more, to be more in the plot. Like, cut down on hopefully like a lot of the side plots, everything. I mean, most of them did get wrapped up in the season, but we don't get any more of those, any new ones that pick up in the second season.
But see, this is the thing. The whole interactions with Zeus and Hera was like their whole battle shit was like too cringy. Like it was just
it wasn't compelling. Honestly,
it wasn't.
I mean, because like honestly, if Zeus was that hard on hoes, like he should have struck her down with a thunderbolt. You know what I'm saying? It's just...
See, and that's what kind of ruined it. Like and that was a good portion of the dialogue and like the slow part. So when a portion of it like that is so flawed, it's hard to really give it the highest of scores. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. And and like I said, and it could have been like I think Zeus. I mean, they made Zeus look. I mean, he was powerful, but they also made him look too weak. Like it's like, damn, like you're weak for mortals. And all the gods in there when they were conversing and whatnot, they're all looking at him kind of funny.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like that's why I'm torn on this because there's certain parts where they really could get the emotion of the crowd and the other gods, and they know how to really make it seem like, yo, man, fuck Zeus. Like they really shitting on him. Like they perfected that vibe where there's other aspects where, like King P said, it's not compelling. Like the Zeus Hera interactions are like horrible, and they're just as over the top, not compelling. It's too soapy. But when they have Zeus interact with the other gods, it's like, okay, like this is the vibe. Like this is a real vibe. Like everybody's like, man, fuck this nigga. Like Keep it wrapped up, motherfucker. Like, so that's why I know, like, they have the ability to fix that and get it better, because they executed one part of it great, but then the other part was executed horrible and really kind of brings it down.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, to me it didn't bring. I could see why no one. I could see that, but
it didn't make it garbage. Don't get me wrong. It's not to where I'm saying like it's trash. It's mid. It brought it down a little, but not to the point where I'm like, okay, fuck it. Nigga, why you sent me this shit?
Yeah, basically just wanted a little bit more of the action. If there was action behind the soapy parts. Like in some parts, but
all of the soapy parts were more compelling. Like, like a lot of it was cringy. Like, and I think that's my biggest critique when it comes to certain shit. Like the Greek mythology, for the most part, is so simple to do that shit dope. But for some reason, when people do the storytelling and the execution, they always try to Hollywood it up too much, or they try to fucking love story it up too much, or they soap drama it up, like, telenova that shit to death.
Yeah, because truthfully told, like, if you ever read Greek mythology and like really read like the raw stuff, like that shit is vulgar. It's like it's violent and vulgar. So I think it's so I think most of the time it's like, like if they're doing this, they have to make it so it's like, okay, do we want to take some certain aspects out from them stories? Because like if you know the story of like the Greek gods, like some of it, incest is a theme. It's a big theme.
Yeah,
so.
But with the other stories, it's like think about this. Why is Norse mythology seem to be translated better visually than Greek mythology is?
Yeah, that's a good fucking question too.
Like, but Greek is the one. Greek mythology.
Because Greek mythology gets Hollywooded all up.
Yeah, but that's the one we're presented with first, that more people are aware about. So you would think they would do that better, but for some reason,
but it gets corny. Like they corny it up. Like,
yeah. And it's like, damn, like it's like someone gives you like a cake, and instead of just leaving the cake as it is, and it's a good cake, these niggas is like, all right, man, put raisins on it, some whipped cream.
You put some extra icing on it.
Some extra icing, and then you're like, oh man, nah, nigga, chill. Like, you don't need all that. Because think about it, like how often do you get some Greek type of some Greek production, Greek mythology, some shit told on a grand scale or just done good? What Troy?
It's rare.
It's rare. Like you gotta go back to damn Clash of the Titans, Jason and the Argonauts, like the Hercules movies. Like you gotta go back. Like a lot of the recent times, I think
the Iliad, with Odysseus, that was actually one, that was a made for TV one. I know that one was actually underrated.
Yo, oh my nigga, I was just about to fucking get to that.
Yeah.
That, I think, with Armand Asante.
Yeah, that one was flawless.
That one was underrated. That was a good fucking remake. That was a good presentation, like with everything with the gods and the heroes and the Trojan War. Yes, like. But see, that was like that was 15 years ago, 20 years ago?
It was like 20 something years. I think I was in high school when that shit was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I didn't mind watching Hercules back in the day and Xena. Like,
yep, same thing. Yeah, I love
the earlier seasons. They kind of captured the mythology.
The later part, they started bullshitting.
Yeah, they started bullshitting. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a lot of times they can't just give you some good Greek mythology. Like, it's always bastardized. Hollywood, there's always an agenda to it where if you just tell it the way it's supposed to be told, you get some fucking masterpiece.
Right.
And that's my gripe. Like, just like with the X-Men movies, like, you just want a fucking X-Men movie with the goddamn Sentinels and niggas going ham.
And
easy.
Gambit, nigga, and Gambit in that shit too.
And Gambit, like it's the easiest fucking thing you could do, but for some reason,
Well, I mean,
not do that.
I mean, come on. You know, these studios are known for taking an easy layup and trying to 360 windmill it in and completely miss. Like,
Duh, I'm just like, oh my goodness, like Mortal Kombat. The first Mortal Kombat movie is like one of the rare examples of someone taking something dope and saying, you know what, here you go.
Yeah,
That's it. Like you know, they you know, fuck the second one, but the first one classic. So
word.
but so what would y'all rate the Blood of Zeus?
To me, I would give it was a strong 8. You know, very strong 8. You know, like I said, I mean, I
was getting 9 vibes from you. All this damn how much you was hyping it up.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I loved the hell out of that shit. But like I said, it's the story aspect in terms of the liberties with the story. Like I said, because you know, I read Greek mythology, so I was like, there was too much of the liberties and shit with it, you know. But I enjoyed it. Like, I mean, there wasn't like not one episode that I didn't enjoy. You know, so it's like, I mean, if I rewatch it again, it probably could go to a 9, but I will give it it's a strong 8 since we can't give halves, you know. So I'll go. You won't let me give it 8.5 or anything like this. So it's an 8.
Nah, because then that just let me know that you won't give. It's not good enough to be a 9.
You know, I would watch it again. Like I would watch it again if I had, you know, if I had nothing to watch on Netflix, I'd watch that shit again.
Damn. That's just a 9 to you then. It sounds like you giving it a 9, but you just for some reason like, I ain't fucking an 8. So I can't do 8.5. I can't convince you. I remember there was one thing we was reviewing and King P was like, I kind of convinced. I think he said, fuck it. He just went up with the score. Pat is like, nah, fuck it. So nah, nigga, you can keep your 8. So King P, what you thought of it?
Overall I would give it a 7. I thought it was solid, very solid. The beginning kind of like I said, it was I groaned at the violence for the sake of violence. Then when it got to the story part, it got good. I felt like they could have done a little bit more with it, tweaked it a bit. Like I said, it's a thing of taking an easy layup and then trying to 360 windmill it and executing it poorly. But overall, it was still very solid. I definitely do want to see a season 2. Hopefully they correct the mistakes that they made from season 1. But I give it a solid 7.
You know what? I ain't got nothing else to say. Is like he nailed it. I give it a 7 as well. Like it's above average. You know, it's better than mid because the animation is clean, and when it does the action and the violence is on point. You know, so I definitely fucks with it. But it just ain't blow me away like that. Like I'm telling you, if y'all see Castlevania first, you'll be looking at this like, what? Like,
yeah, Castlevania is better than this, but this is still solid in its own right.
Yeah, definitely. Like they can't be. I can't put them on the same level, but it's definitely worth watching, especially if if you're like us and you fuck with Greek mythology. So
right. So I mean, it's definitely not wasting your time. You won't get pissed, unless you just have some real issue with something in that.
Yeah. But steer away from Barbarian though. Like, stay away from that. It's not enough action.
Yeah, that's a complete no fly zone.
Yeah, like everything in the budget, all the action was saved up for the last episode, and then it wasn't even done that well. So if you need something to watch in that vein, watch The Last Kingdom. If you're not up on that,
word.
And that's that's outstanding show. So
Yeah. So like I said, Netflix got one with this, but like I said, we hope definitely we'll definitely anticipate season 2, and hopefully that season 2, like I said, just improves on it some more, improves on the product some more, and hopefully does stay more in line with the actual story instead of no Hollywood shit or taking liberties with characters that aren't really in the mythology. So
hey Zeus, you gotta stop fucking them hoes.
Oh man. But yeah, no, what we did overall, we enjoyed it. So yep. So we'll move on to our next topic, and this